The mysterious gift. Whiskers, the curious tabby cat, had always loved exploring the house. He had discovered every nook and cranny, but there was still one thing he couldn't understand. Why did Mrs. Meadows, his owner, seem to know exactly where he wanted to go? Every time he was about to leap into the garden, she would call him back with a gentle, "Not today, dear." Whiskers was frustrated. He needed a new adventure. One afternoon, as the sun cast a golden glow over the room, Mrs. Meadows entered with a mysterious package wrapped in shimmering fabric. "This, Whiskers," she said, "is something special." As she opened it, a beautiful collar glimmered inside, its golden charms sparkling with a mysterious energy. Mrs. Meadows placed it around his neck, and Whiskers immediately felt a strange tingling sensation. He had no idea that this was the beginning of an adventure that would change his life forever. Little did Whiskers know, this collar would not only change his life, but he would also need help from someone just like you. Yes, with your support, you could help Whiskers on his quest. All it takes is a quick click on the subscribe button, and you'll be part of this adventure every step of the way. The collar's magic. The moment the collar settled around Whiskers' neck, something extraordinary happened. He felt a wave of warmth rush through his body, and for the first time, he could understand the sounds of the world around him. The birds outside chirped in a language he now understood. The wind whispered secrets, and Mrs. Meadows' soft voice seemed to carry a hidden meaning. Whiskers, both thrilled and bewildered, explored his newfound abilities. He padded over to the window and looked out at the garden. The birds seemed to beckon him, their calls now clear instructions. "Come outside, Whiskers," they chirped. "There's something you must see." Without hesitation, Whiskers leaped through the cat door, following the birds' calls, his tail twitching with excitement. He had always wondered what the world held beyond the walls of his home, and now, with the enchanted collar, he was about to find out. But as he stepped outside, he realized something. He didn't have to go it alone. His journey was bigger than he imagined, and he needed someone to guide him through it. With just one click, you could help Whiskers discover the world that awaits. Subscribe, and together, we can unlock the full magic of this adventure. The secret path. Outside, the garden seemed different. The colors were more vibrant, the air filled with scents Whiskers had never noticed before. The birds led him to a small, hidden path at the back of the yard, one he had never seen. It wound through tall grass, twisted trees, and over bubbling brooks. Whiskers' heart raced with anticipation. He was on a real adventure now. As he ventured further along the path, the collar began to glow faintly, guiding him forward. "This way, Whiskers," the wind whispered. "You are closer now." The further he went, the more he realized that the collar was not just enchanted. It was a key. It opened the door to a world beyond anything he had ever imagined. Whiskers was on the brink of discovering a secret, and he could feel that his journey had just begun. But as he continued, he felt a bit uncertain. The path ahead was unknown, and the challenges ahead seemed daunting. That's when Whiskers realized this adventure was bigger than he could handle alone. With your help, Whiskers can keep moving forward. All it takes is a subscription, and you'll be part of his journey to unlock the mysteries of the forest. Together, we can make this adventure a reality. The Guardians of the Forest. As Whiskers ventured deeper into the forest, the atmosphere grew more mysterious. The trees seemed to bend toward him, and the shadows whispered with ancient secrets. Soon, he came upon a clearing where he saw creatures unlike anything he had ever seen. They were large, graceful, and shrouded in glowing light, guardians of the forest. They had the bodies of felines, but their eyes glowed with wisdom and power. One of the guardians, a majestic white cat with shimmering silver fur, stepped forward. "The collar you wear is no ordinary piece of jewelry," she said in a voice that resonated with magic. "It was crafted by the ancient ones to guide chosen ones like you to the heart of the forest. You have been chosen, Whiskers, for a task only you can complete." Whiskers was stunned. What could he possibly do that was so important? The Guardian's gaze was intense but kind. He realized that he was no longer just a curious cat, he was part of something much bigger. But even with his newfound powers, Whiskers needed the strength of those who believed in him. Will you help Whiskers prove himself? Hit that subscribe button, and together, we'll ensure he can face what lies ahead. The final trial. The Guardians explained that Whiskers' journey was far from over. The enchanted collar had granted him special abilities, but now he had to prove his worth. The trial would test his courage, wit, and the strength of his heart. Whiskers listened carefully as they explained the task. He had to retrieve the sacred crystal from the heart of the forest, a place where no cat had dared to go for centuries. With his new powers, Whiskers began his quest. The path to the sacred crystal was treacherous, filled with hidden dangers and mysterious obstacles. But the collar guided him, its glow growing brighter with each challenge. Whiskers faced trials that tested his bravery, but he pressed on, driven by the knowledge that the collar had chosen him for a reason. By the time he reached the heart of the forest, he was no longer just a house cat, he was a hero. But even heroes need help sometimes, and Whiskers knows he can count on you. Join him on this final trial. Subscribe now and be part of the adventure that will change Whiskers' life forever.